Hello YouTube. I'm going to do a review today of 3 different CZ pistols. I'm going to do CZ P01, which is a 9mm 14+1 decock only, and it has the distinction of carrying a NSN number, NATO service number. For those of you all that know, that it's a fairly intensive criteria that they have to meet in order to wear that number. The second one's going to be a CZ75B in .40 caliber. These all have the Metgar magazines. This one is a 12+1. This is a, prove that it's empty. This is single action, double action. And the third is a CZ75 BSA, which is 9mm, and it's single action only. Notice the difference. Let me bring these in a little bit for you. Notice the difference in the triggers between these two. This is a standard, this is single action only. This is another Metgar magazine, 17 rounds, empty. This is designed to be carried cocked and locked. Safety is on, will not fire. Safety is off. This is ambidextrous safety, by the way, and it will fire, but there's no double action. This is the .40 caliber 75B. It too has ambidextrous safety. It will not engage with the hammer down. They're designed to be carried cocked and locked. Will not fire. Safety is off. Will fire. And double action. This is my most carried and most used CZ out of all. As a matter of fact, this particular CZ75, is this the B? That's just a CZ75 P01. These are all made in the Czech Republic, by the way. This is my most favored and most carried 9mm, bar none. And this one here, it has decock only, and it's not ambidextrous. It too will fire. I'll prove empty. Single action, double action. Pull the hammer back, depress the decocker. There's no safety on this gun. The safety is the one you keep between your ears. That's the most effective safety on any gun, is the one that you carry with you everywhere you go between your ears. These all have a fairly low bore axis. You notice on the majority of semi-automatics how the frame of the gun has the rail and the slide of the gun has the channel. These are just the opposite. The frame of the gun, let me show it to you this way, you can see it, has the channel. The slide has the rail. I have nothing other than my experience that tells me that's part of the reason why these can carry a low bore axis. What I mean by a low bore axis is the amount of gun that sits above your hand when you're ready to fire. That would be from this point to this point. That's your bore axis. Bore axis is actually center line of the bore, but you can judge that by the top of the slide in most cases. If you notice on a SIG, they have an extremely high bore axis, where you would have this much gun sticking above for this one, add maybe another 3/16 of an inch to that, and there's your SIG. At least with the 226s. That's the one I'm most familiar with, the SIG 226 and the P6. I've changed out the stocks on this. You see these have a little bit of a belly to them right in here. These are from the CZ Custom Shop. These are the Rosewoods. These are these are the Rosewood Slims that are on the B 9mm, or I'm sorry, this is the 40. And these are Walnut Slims that are on the BSA. And the only reason I like the Slims on these is I think it fits my hand better. It aids in the ergonomic grip. The differences between these two are numerous. Notice the tang, the beaver tail, different from one to the next. This is closer to what a standard GI 1911 would be, and this has got the upturned. Some folks will get in the web of your hand right here, you'll get a bite if you do a lot of shooting with this kind. I'll show you. See how that kind of pinches right in there? When you're going to look at these guns, you need to figure out for yourself which ones feel better to you and which ones don't feel better to you. I can't tell you which one to buy because I don't own your hands. You own your hands. You need to make up your own mind which one fits you best and go with it. Try on as many guns as you can before you make your first purchase. Well, shoot, for that matter, try on as many guns as you can before you make your 50th purchase. Only you know what fits you best. I happen to like CZs. And again, I like Beretta 92s, and there's a bunch of guys out there that don't like the Beretta 92s. Let's see, what else can we talk about these? These have polygonal rifling. The 40 caliber, I'll get into the 40 a little bit more when I do some reviews of various 40s, but the CZ 40s, they did the rifling twist correct on these. And I might not be right about the polygonal rifling. No, it's standard rifling. You can look down there. I know you guys can't probably see it, but that's standard rifling. It's not polygonal. But anyhow, they did the twist right. I think it's a 1 in 14 or a 1 in 16 is different than just about any other manufacturer, including Smith & Wesson or Smith & Wesson of old. I believe they have changed with their M&Ps to the correct twist. And when I say correct twist, the old twists were working, but the correct twist aids in accuracy more than the old did. And I don't have the numbers here in front of me. I'll do some more research, and when I do my 40 Smith & Wesson reviews, I'll have the information in front of me and I can better expand on it. Out of all of my 40s, and I own quite a few, this CZ is my most accurate. Before I bought this one, my most accurate was the HK USP 40. I still love that gun. I shoot that gun as much as I can, which is not often nowadays. And this gun will shoot circles around it, and that says something. This is my least used and least shot 9mm out of all that I own, and it has nothing to do with an accuracy issue or trigger pull issue or any other. It's just I just don't shoot it for some reason. Doesn't make much sense to me either. It's a great gun. It's accurate. Feels good in the hand. It's got the weight that you would expect of a CZ, and I don't have the numbers in front of me to tell you what these things weigh. This is a lighter gun than this is. This is the P01. This has an alloy frame. This is all steel construction. This has got the weight to it that you'd expect in a full-size service gun. That's not polymer. This has got the weight that you want if you're just going to drop it in a IWB holster or some other concealed carry holster and carry it all day long. This is what you want because it's not heavy. You guys have probably seen this jacket before. This is my Rothko 3-season jacket. It's got the built-in pockets. And you see that P01 it just gets swallowed right up. It came with 2 magazines. I wouldn't normally carry the magazine on this side. I'd carry it on this side. See, it's got the pocket on both sides. These jackets are ambidextrous. But I would carry the extra magazine in one of these. I carry the pistol here. It draws right nice. It sits in there deep enough. I don't know if this is fact or fiction, but the person that I bought this from said there is only 500 of these green P01s in the United States. I haven't researched that. I don't know if that's fact or fiction. I'm just relaying second or third hand information. This is what I've been told. If you guys know different, feel free to let me know. Because I'm not claiming that as fact. I'm not claiming that as fiction. I'm just repeating what I was told when I bought the gun. I bought this used, by the way. A good friend of mine lives out in Norfolk, Virginia. He shot this gun. I used to shoot with him on a real regular basis. And he brought this gun to the range, let me shoot it, and I fell in love with it right off the bat. I shot the X out of a B8 target, my first flight with it. I knew it was a gun for me, and I started looking for him. I couldn't find him anywhere. And he calls me up out of the blue and he says, "Trey, have I got a deal for you?" And normally when I hear that from him, I'm hiding my wallet. And he fills me in on it. I accepted the offer, and as a matter of fact, I drove right over there and bought it before he changed his mind. Matter of fact, this is one that I traded for. I didn't even buy this one from him. This is the one that I bought from him, which is the BSA. This is the one that I drove over there and gave him the money before he changed his mind. Now this was a friggin' deal. Less than 50% is what I paid for this, and you can look at the gun and see that it's in really nice condition. It's obvious that it's been shot, and it's even been carried some. But it's a shooter. I don't buy guns to leave them in a safe. I buy guns to shoot them. Let's see. I don't know what else I can tell you about these things. They've all got fixed sights. You can see on this one how I left the 3 dots on there. And this one here, one of the range officers out at a range in Norfolk that I shoot at, he had some of this bright green, I think it's fingernail polish. And I had him put the dabs in there, and it really shows up. And this 40, it had the same 3-dot sights, but I blacked them out as I found it to be a little bit distracting, and that's odd that it would be distracting on this one, but not on this one. And they're identical sights, but it's just, you know, people have idiosyncrasies. I guess that's one of mine. But there's your differences. These guns weigh the same, they feel the same. They don't have identical features, obviously, because one of them is a single action only. One of them is a single double action. One of them's a 40 caliber, one of them's a 9mm. But there they go. I know these reviews aren't much. I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know, probably. But if I'm helping somebody, then they're good for something after all. I like these guns. I like them an awful lot. I've got these 3. I've already put a review up of the CZ75, which is the 45 ACP, which is my most accurate non-1911 out of all of my 45 ACPs. That pistol is just right on the mark. I've got a Springfield XDM 45, full size. Matter of fact, that's the gun that I qualified with when I took my North Carolina CCW class. I thought that pistol was accurate until I bought that CZ97. That 97 is just, it's spooky accurate. Now, this is my coffee cup, and it's full, and it's got hot coffee in it. And as you can see, it's NRA, and it's got 1911s all around it. That's good coffee too, Ethiopian. But you see on that coffee cup, which was given to me by a good friend, that 1911s and 45 ACP is my favorite of all. And if I favor a non-1911, that says something. At least to me it does. I'm nobody. My opinion shouldn't mean anything more to you than it does to anybody else. I'm just telling you what works for me. And if it works for you too, hey, that's great. I don't know what else to say about these guns. I like them. That doesn't mean you have to. That just means I like them. It means they shoot. I don't collect junk. I don't collect inaccurate guns. I collect what shoots and what works, what's comfortable, ergonomic, and reliable. CZ fits the bill. These are probably the most ergonomic guns out there, with the exception of the Browning high powers. Those, JMB knew what he was doing. Well, that's not exactly accurate, because he was dead long before those guns came to fruition. Regardless, they feel better than the CZs do. I don't have Browning high power money. I got CZ75 money, and it's money well spent. Meklar makes these magazines. They make a whole bunch of magazines for a whole bunch of people. For the 40s, they normally come with 10 rounders. You can buy the 12 rounders online. I think I got these from Midway, USA. The 9mm is a completely different story. They come with 17 rounders. You can buy 19 rounders. You can buy 20 rounders for these things. I mean, they stick out down to here on some of them. I've got them in the house. Don't much care for them, but I've got them. When I bought the gun, it came with all those magazines. That's the fella I was telling you about. I've shot 115, 124, and 147 grain in this full size, and it's accurate with all of them. You do have a little bit different point of aim, point of impact with that one. With the P01, I have shot 124 and 147 in this one. And oddly enough, and I don't know if it's the barrel length or why, but it's the same point of aim, point of impact with both of them. And normally your heavier bullet is going to shoot higher than a lighter bullet. That's not the case with this gun. And I don't know why that is. I don't carry the 147s. I carry the 124 Spear Gold Dot plus Ps. And this gun is plus P rated. Matter of fact, all of them are. They're all made in the Czech Republic. I can't tell you much more about the NSN. If you're curious about it, it's obvious you have internet access. I would recommend that you look it up and read it for yourself. You'll get more accurate information that way than what I can tell you. I have partial memory of what the NSN is. You can find it for yourself and read it for yourself. These are great guns. I would highly recommend these to anybody. Don't go looking for the green ones. There's only 500. Haha. They've got, what is it? They've got the CZ75C, and they got a PRC or something. They got a whole, 2 or 3 that are about this same size. One of them is all steel construction. This is the only one that I'm aware of in the smaller size that carries the NSN number. I think they do have some full-size 75s that carry the NSN number. And honestly, unless you're jumping fences and rolling over car hoods, there's really no reason why an NSN number should mean that much to you. If you're just using it for general shooting, concealed carry, home defense, range toy, going out and plinking in the swamp or the woods, or popping bunnies in the ditch bank, whatever, that NSN number shouldn't mean much to you. It's not going to make you or break you. It is an accolade because it's a very strict and stringent criteria that they have to pass. And I believe they have to pass it more than once. It is like maybe once is an accident, so you got to do it twice. You can see how low that barrel sits. It makes recoil manageable and easy to control. The gun has more of a recoil straight back than it has this nature. It's more this nature. When you manually drop the hammer, it sits all the way against the firing block. There would be about where it sits when you do the decocker. I'll even show you. I don't think it makes much difference. I think this does have a firing pin block, so you could drop it and it's not going to fire. Even, see, that was the problem with the Series 70 1911s, is you could drop them like that if you carried them hammer down, which I don't know why anybody would. But if you dropped them down like, and they hit from a distance like that, they would fire, because the firing pin would, the inertia of the drop would just keep the firing pin traveling forward, and it had enough inertia and weight to it that it would strike the primer and fire the gun. Yep, a lot of hurt feet, I reckon, were the impetus for the Series 80, and I think Smith & Wesson, somebody else, implemented the Schwartz safety, which really screwed up an otherwise superlative trigger pull. You can look that one up too for yourself. That's about all I have. I'm going to sit here and just keep rambling, and there's no sense in doing that. So if there's any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. If I have the answer, I'll answer. If I don't have the answer, I'll let you know. Thank you for watching. I'm going to turn this thing off now.